Hey folks, it's Chad again at Airstream of Greensboro. It's an absolutely beautiful day in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. And I've got behind you, this is a 27-foot Globetrotter queen bed. This is the first one for my channel. I do have a walk around review of the 27-foot Globetrotter twin bed. I'll link that above so you can go watch that if you're more interested in the twin bed. And I'll point out a few of the differences between the queen and the twin bed models of the 27-foot front bed Globetrotter. So let's move into the review. Now, talking a little bit about the Globetrotter, that's a 27, what they call a 27 FB, and we'll regularly say 27 foot, even though technically speaking, when you add in the tongue and the bumper, it's actually 28 foot in length. So it is a little bit longer than the namesake is. And if you actually the 28 model that they have, say in the Flying Cloud, that one is actually going to be also 28 foot. So there's the same lengths, the same cab, it's just a different layout and floor plan. Now this one is going to have a hitch weight of 875 pounds. It's going to have a base weight or dry weight of 6,300 pounds. It does have a freshwater tank of 37 gallons, a gray water tank of 35 gallons, and a black water tank of 40 gallons. Now we'll start at the front, and with the Globetrotter, you get a lot of things standard versus something like the Flying Cloud. One of those things is going to be the window awnings. The Globetrotter, as you can see, and one really cool thing, we've actually got this one open to show a customer. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to go ahead and make a video. So it's actually all open, everything's on. And you can see the window awning is deployed right there for that side, which is great for a sunny day. Now, today, currently right now, the sun is off my left, or off of the driver's side of the camper. As it moves over to the other side and the sun starts to hit this side of the camper, that's where the window awning really comes into play. That helps to shield the windows of the direct sunlight. Now on the front, you've got these solar guards. And with the solar guards, of course, these are standard. There is a hinge off the back here, right there and right there. On the inside here, there is basically two screws. You quarter turn those. This will open up and let you clean the inside of that solar guard and clean the window that's behind it. Now this helps to protect this front section from the sun because it has that tint on it. This front section also opens, and basically just pull those down and then open it. And it does have a positive lock there and one there as well. And then this front window does open. Now, one thing about the front window with this, now it's the front bed, so the bed is right there. If you want to open that window, you do have to come outside first, open the solar guard, and then you can open that front window. Now, behind this really nice tank cover, you'll have two 30-pound tanks. You do have the electric stabilizer. It does have the light on the front to help when you're hitching. And then you do have the DEMCOR hitch system up front. That's really nice. It's easy to work with. You can hitch up without even opening it. And they do say you can travel without having a pin in this, but there is a hole for a pin. And I think most people will still travel with a pin. There is a place for you to store your chains when you're not using them, so you don't just have to hang them. You do have the brake controller there, or the brake emergency there. And then on the queen bed, the biggest difference you're going to notice with the queen bed, as I back up, it's going to be on this side here. There is no storage. So on the twin bed, there'd be a door right here for storage. And then on the driver's side, there is again no door. There's no storage there. Your outside storage on the queen bed is going to be this space right here, which is large. I mean, I can't reach the back there. You do have a light. There is a good amount of storage right here, but this is your outside storage. The bed is just above right there. You do have storage still on the inside, and I'll show that to you. And then underneath that, you have where your batteries are stored. Now the 23 model, if you've been researching much with the 23 model year for Airstream, one of the things you'll know, they do not ship with batteries now. That is something that you'll decide what you want at the dealer, and the dealer will install those batteries for you. You can put lead acid in there. For the most part, most customers are probably opting, at least for the AMG. Really, we're seeing a lot that want the lithium batteries nowadays. We do sell the battle-born batteries, which are the same batteries that Airstream ships on the Classic. The Classic does still come with the batteries, but your Globetrotter down does not come with batteries. You would get those once you get to the dealer. There is a solar connection there. It's a ZAMP solar connection. Gives you the ability to trickle charge those batteries and connect into the solar system. And then on this side, you do have an LP quick disconnect. The one thing I would say on that disconnect, I would love for them to put it on this side, and I'd also love for them to give you one down here. It is something you could have added at the dealer. It's probably not that difficult to do, but it would be nice to have that quick disconnect, not up front, but over here, so you're not, standing right here to cook when you're using that disconnect there. Great feature. Just would love for it to be in a different spot. And then you do have the rock guards. So with Airstream, basically everything on the outside and inside is aluminum. The exterior skin is a stretched aluminum. If you haven't watched the factory video that Airstream's put out, I highly recommend going to their YouTube channel and watching that video. They show you how they make these corners and how they make that front wrap there. So they stretch that aluminum out to make that shape. And then on your inside, you're gonna have a really high efficient insulation, and it's a skeleton aluminum structure. And then on the inside of that, which would be your inside wall, is going to be again aluminum. The bottom, you do have a steel frame that's painted and protected, and you do have the Globetrotter and basically all of the Airstreams for 23 up and down. As far as the model line, you have a composite floor now, so there's no wood in there either. And that used to be a big failure point for Airstream, was the wood floor. That would be something that if you were renovating an older 70s 80s model, you'd most definitely have to replace the wood that created the floor, which is really the middle sandwich piece that holds the whole camper together. So now with Airstream, they started this a few years ago. They have taken it all the way down to the base camp line. There's now a composite floor in there that's very rigid. It's stronger than the wood floor, and of course it's composite, so it can't rot, it can't go bad on you. And then with those rock guards, to kind of go back to that, so that is the only piece on the Airstream that's not aluminum. That is going to be stainless steel. You do have the ability, there's a piano hinge there, same on the other one. And then once you move these nuts here, you can swing this out, clean the inside of it, and clean the side of the camper that's protecting. But that stainless steel is much stronger than the aluminum itself as far as rocks flying up at it. And then moving to the side, with the Globetrotter, you're going to have standard, the powered awning, as well as powered stabilizers. And that is what the awning arm looks like there. You do have the ability with this awning system to tilt one side to the other. You can tilt that side or tilt the front, and that just lets you be able to control water. If there's a little bit of rain, you can get the rainwater to flow off the side that you don't want to, you're not at, so you don't have to worry about it coming over top of you. You do have a tankless hot water heater that is stored behind this guy right there. You have additional power outside that's GFCI protected. Now this is your controls for your power stabilizer. So with the Globetrotter, you're going to have that compartment somewhere on this side, the driver's side of the camper, and it's just pressing a button. And you can hear them. There's that one going up, go down, and it's that easy. Now that's not auto level. You're not going to be able to level the camper with that, but it does help to keep the camper stable. And you do still have the manual attachment there, so if you had an issue, you could run it up and down manually, and you do have that attachment that comes with it. Now the awning controls are just on the inside of the camper. Remember, when you're opening your door, never open the door with the keys in it. It will damage your metal right there. And the awning controls are here. There's an on-off switch. The tilt, so tilt to the rear, tilt to the front, and then open or close. If you hit close like I just did there, You don't have to hold it. It will just automatically start going in. And then when you want it open, you can actually hit open. It will stop where it's at. So if you're caravelling and you're going to be really close with a lot of the Airstream events that they do, they park the campers really close together to pack more in. You have the ability to stop this at any point, so you can still have the awning out a little bit, even if you're really close to a tree or to another Airstream person. Yep, and it's running out. And then it goes to that point and then stop. And then moving around to the back, you'll have your rear window awning there. And then this window does open. Now this one doesn't have a solar guard on it because you're in the back of the camper at this point. You can't open that room from the inside. You don't have to come outside to open it. And then you do have the Airstream's fantastic bumper storage. And it does have a latch if you open it far enough, right there. And that is a great spot. Then that's wet storage. So that's a great spot to put things that you use on the outside of the camper, chalks, hoses, water hoses, those types of things. You have your furnace right there. And then moving forward, you have your 50 amp power connector. And you can see the power on here. It's blue. That's telling you that this power that's coming to the unit is correctly wired. If that is a different color, that is telling you that there's an issue with the power. Don't plug it in. That's part of the smart plug system. You have your TV satellite inputs there. You have your black tank flush, and then your city fill or city inlet there. Your freshwater tank fill is behind this door, and your outside shower is behind this door. You do get hot and cold water there. Now with Airstreams, you do get Goodyear endurance tires. They are American made tires, and you're also getting the Dexter axles with the dampers and the Dexter brakes. Those are considered the best axles and brakes in the industry, which is why Airstream uses them. Airstream does not have the tendency to want to in any way not use the best products they can use, which is why they've upgraded to the composite floor and you see a lot of aluminum. All right, now I want to take you to the inside of the 27-foot Globetrotter front bed, and it's the queen bed. Now, one thing, if you haven't seen any videos that talk about the doors with Airstream, these are unique doors. They're handmade at the factory. If you ever did a factory tour, you actually see this section where they make the doors. Now it's made out of aluminum. It is welded, 4 welds on each side. This is a great door that you can shut. It does have the metal guard there. There is a screen there, but that's great for pets. And then there's an additional one here. One of the upgrades that I see a lot of customers do is they'll have custom made pieces that go across here. Now, one thing that Airstream does recommend is that you never close the outer door onto the screen door with the screen door already in the closed position. So you always want to open the screen door, attach it back to the main door before you close the door. And then one thing that, if you've not done this, I highly recommend coming to a store, an Airstream store near you. Definitely come by the Greensboro store, but closing the vault door is probably the greatest thing you can do with the Airstream, because there's just no other feeling. The sound, you can hear the quality when you close it. You can hear just the thickness of the door. And then they do have a good latch there. And the great thing I like about this latch is you can open it with one hand, thumb, push, and then pull the hand. You don't have to use 2 hands. Almost never use 2 hands with this. Just pull and then open it. Now, coming into the Globetrotter, you're going to see just some really nice appointments. We've got this set up in the dinette configuration. There's another table that would go there. That cushion would come out. The table is actually under that cushion, and you can make this into a regular dinette as opposed to a U-shaped dinette. And of course, this does turn, so you can set it up to be however you need it to be. You can see the custom curtains there that go all the way around the Globetrotter, and the Flying Cloud, they'll split. On the Globetrotter, it's one continuous piece that goes all the way around. And then you do get storage, and the Globetrotter is going to be the European inspired design for for Airstream. So you have these curved cabinet doors. You still have the large cabinet, just the large over-engineered hinges for the cabinets. And then you have these support shocks here in the Globetrotter. Now with the 23 model year, one of the changes was they got rid of the DVD player. You do still have HDMI hookups. You also still have your inverted power hookup there, and you have a USB connection there. So you can hook up your things like your Apple TVs, your Fire Sticks, all those types of things. Your radio is there, and it has changed from the GL to the Fusion. You have all your zone controls there. It's Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi connected, it has Sirius XM capabilities. So a really good radio, a really nice radio. And then you do have with the Globetrotter these really cool magnetic locks, or not locks, excuse me, switches. So that is actually what turns the light on. When I close this cabinet, you'll see the light there. I can see that, you can see that side through the other side. So as I open it, that magnet disconnects, tells it that the door is open, and the light comes on. So that's a super nice thing. Automatic lights in your cabinets, of course, LED lights throughout. You have the fantastic fan there. And then with the Globetrotter, you're going to have two sun. With the Globetrotter, you're going to have two sun lights there and there. And we've got the TV. The TV does, now the 23 foot, one of the upgrades they did with the 23 foot, these used to be 110 TVs, just the same TV that you bought and took home. These new TVs are now 12 volt TVs. You can actually see the 12 volt wire there. You still have your inverted circuit there, which means with your 1000 watt inverter that you have on board, you now have more power to use throughout the camper for things like laptops, gaming systems, whatever it might be. But the TV itself is pulling directly off the batteries or directly off the 12 volt system. They're more efficient. It's more efficient that way. You're not losing power in the conversion from taking it from DC to AC, which is a great thing. It makes those batteries last longer. You do have a USB charging station there. Again, that 110 inverter is there. And then just below the TV, you're going to have your power inverter remote control. So this turns that on. Your sea level tank monitors here they actually give you a percentage. And then you have your Victron charge system. This is your solar charge control. It's a MPPT. And if you don't know anything about Victron Energy, they do massive commercial size inverters and solar controllers. So that is a high quality company there. And Progressive Dynamics on the inverters, also a high quality company. And then in the vein of the 12 volt systems, you do now have a 12 volt electric Norcross fridge. Now there's two benefits to this. The first one is just going to be the fact that you get more storage in here. You don't have the propane system that takes up the top section, so basically gave you a half shelf here. It's also a deeper fridge because you don't need the additional components on the back to support the propane as well as the 110. And then you have a decent sized freezer as well. This one's actually on currently. It's very cold. The other thing with it being a 12 volt electric fridge, it cools quicker and it actually freezes your ice cream when you're using the freezer for ice cream. So that is a plus there. With it being 12 volt, that means it can run off of those batteries up front. And like this camper is equipped with the 300 watt solar system. It's up on top. That is currently, giving power to the camper, and it would be charging the batteries if it had batteries. Now this one, we've got it plugged in, so everything you're seeing is running off of the shore power, and that's being converted through the DC AC converter. But that fridge, if you didn't have it plugged in and you're going down the road, the great benefit is you can run that refrigerator while you're going down the road off the 12 volt system. Your truck is going to be charging the batteries and the solar is going to be charging the batteries. So when you get to the campground, your refrigerator is already cool, the freezer is already frozen, and you're good to go. And kind of swing around, just to give you a look at the sofa setup here. Of course, they have the dinette there, set up in the U-shaped dinette configuration. So this gives you both a U-shaped dinette and a traditional dinette option. That does fold down into sleeping there, and you do have a pull out here that will give you another sleeping spot there if you have kids with you or if you just have someone staying with you for the night. You do have some storage underneath the there, pull out drawer. There's additional storage there and there. And then on the front side of the dinette, you have additional storage there and a subwoofer for the sound system. And moving, oh, let's open this one. And you have storage there. These containers do come with the Airstream. And then on the dinette side, not dinette, excuse me, the kitchenette side, you're gonna have your stainless steel under-mounted sink there. It does have sink covers. You have the 2 trash cans that pull out there, and there is a cover for both of these. And then you've got some of your different switches, light switches there. Your overhead switches have dimming capability. That is your power disconnect there. It's just a button. And then your trash can is there. And you could actually put a larger trash can. The one at Airstream ships is a little bit smaller, but there is room for a larger trash can there. Moving around to the front, you have full extension drawers there under the sink, right there. An additional full extension drawers with your Airstream silverware organizer. More storage there. These covers here, they actually go to the plates on the floor that hold the dinette up. And then a little bit of storage there. The reason that that doesn't go deeper, your wheels are back behind, your tires and wheels are behind that. The same thing with this one here. Now this model was equipped with the standard microwave and oven. The option with Globetrotter on the 27 foot, and this is also true on the Flying Cloud 27 foot, you can either have this set up where the top half of your pantry is a microwave and then you have the traditional propane oven there, or the option would be to add a convection microwave. This whole section from here down to here is going to be your pantry, and your convection microwave goes in place of the stove there. Now, I'm guessing that's something you could do after the fact if you wanted to, but really, if you're wanting the extra pantry, order the convection microwave. If you're not going to use the stove that much, order the convection microwave. That way, you're getting all of the pantry storage that you can get. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, there's your pantry there. You basically are having a whole nother shelf of pantry space when you do the convection microwave option. And then you do have your 3-burner stovetop there. And then you do have a vent system that vents to the outside. It does have lights on it right there. And then you have your cabinets above the kitchenette there. Again, has the magnetic light switch and has the over-engineered hinges that will probably last forever. Now, one thing I want to point out with the color that you get with the Globetrotter, I have found does give you fingerprints. Now, we've got techs coming in and out. I'm not sure if you can even see that on the camera. We have techs going in and out there checking things. Some of there's just that. You know, you're not going to necessarily come in after touching something on the outside and having, you know, a little bit of residue in your hand that would end up on the cabinet. But I have noticed that that does happen with these white cabinets. It's something to be aware of. And then one thing I do like to point out, you're not going to have any, you know, not well-made areas of the camper. Even your walls like here that other manufacturers would skip on the product and make it a little bit cheaper. You're not going to have that with the Airstream. And then just to try to give you the best view of the whole camper from this angle. Now moving forward in the 25 foot, if you're looking at a 25 foot, your pantry is going to cut about right here. You'll have a smaller pantry that's about that size there. And then, and I actually have a comparison video of the 27 foot twin versus a 25 foot twin. I'll link that above if you want to watch that one, and that will show you exactly comparisons between the two going back and forth. But the other area you're going to see is just one wardrobe here as opposed to two. Now with the Globetrotter, you're going to have a few extra cushions on the 27. That's one of them. We're using one up front, and there should be two elsewhere, probably stored somewhere. And then you have a spot that is right there to hold your poles for your dinette when you're using the dinette in the bed configuration. That's your pack there. Every Airstream should come with a pack and the Airstream pillows. And then there's your hinge. You do have a light there for the wardrobe. And then moving to the split bath, we have the shower here. You do have the pull across string. Again, this is going to be mainly for something in the line of a wet bathing suit, something like that, but not like heavy towels would not work for that. And then you do have the removable spray head. You can help you get yourself washed off, because it is a large space for a shower, but it's also a small shower. And that's where having that comes in handy. You do have a seat to sit down in, and it does drain out there. And you do have a vent there that vents straight out when you are showering. And then move around to the other side of the split bath to where you find your sink. There is storage underneath there, storage there, storage there. And you do have, you have the mirror there, and you have a nice medicine cabinet behind that mirror. And again, oversized hinges. And there's a little bit of storage right here as well. You do have a porcelain toilet right there, and there's plenty of room to sit there. If you're a larger person, you will find that your leg will hit that a little bit, and if you have the door shut, you'll find that your right knee hits the door a little bit. But I myself, 5'10", and I'm not small. I fit in there fairly well. I mentioned outside you have the tankless hot water heater. That control is right there. It does automatically go onto the on position because it's on demand. It's not going to actually fire up until it receives water. Once it receives water, it'll fire up. But you can set the temperature of where you want it to be. The most important thing to remember about a tankless hot water heater is that you're not going to blend your hot and cold water when you're taking a shower. You're just going to turn the hot water on, set the temperature that you want that water to be at here, and then take your shower. What a lot of folks will do with a on-demand hot water heater is they'll set it to like 118, which is the recommended temperature, and then they'll start to blend it like they do in their home shower with a non-tankless hot water heater, and they're expecting to have the ability to blend it, and it never gets as hot as they think it's going to or should, and they think that the hot water heater is not working. The truth is, turn it all the way to hot and then set your temperature here. They recommend starting at 118 and then go up or down from there, depending on what you like. And then you do have the very cool Airstream porthole door or window there, and it is frosted so you can't see in. And then the queen bed. So this is what the queen bed is going to look like. On the 27 foot, you do have a good amount of room to be able to walk around. You do have inverted circuits there and power or USB charging there, as well as there and USB charging. The Globetrotter is also going to give you this additional nice covered soft touch wrap around all the way around to there. You do have nightstands on both sides, as well as a little bit of storage right there. And then under the bed, you have storage there with a pull-out container, and you can lift this bed. It has shocks on it for additional storage, and there's those two other cushions, and you can get to that from the front there. And then again, you have another container there that comes with the Airstream that you can pull out, and you can actually access that front storage if you needed to. It would be a little tight, but you can access it there if you wanted to. And you can see even the bed there is actually plywood. You've got molded plywood there. And then put that back down. And then in your bedroom, you have another TV that is on a hinge right there. And again, that is a 12-volt TV. So it pulls directly off the batteries. And then you have another dimming light. That's actually the lights above. You do have reading lights there and there for the bed. And then you have pull around curtains. Again, those are connected all the way to the middle point, all the way to the middle point. And then you have windows on both sides of the bedroom area. This one does open here, and this one, even though it's an emergency exit, it also opens as well if you needed to. And then you have those curtains there. and AC controllers right there. It's 2 zones because the 27, this particular 27 does have the 2 AC option. I highly recommend, if you're getting a 27 foot, to get the second AC option. And as I'm talking about ACs with the Globetrotter, you are getting the new filtration system. It is a MERV rated system. A couple of screws that you take out, you can pull this down and then replace that filter or clean that filter out on both of those. That is an upgrade to what was coming on the Globetrotter, as well as what comes on the International and the Flying Cloud. So just kind of giving you another view of the bedroom, and then I'm going to turn around and give you a view looking back forward at this beautiful Globetrotter. This is the kitchenette, and in this case the U-shaped dinette and your seating area there. So again, my name is Chad Watson here at Airstream of Greensboro. If you have any questions on this Airstream or any of the other Airstreams that Airstream sells, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. Hope you're having a great day and live riveted.